Hey, what's going on, peeps? Hope we're all doing well. Welcome back to more esports talk. Dude, look, this is a shirt from 8th grade, and your boy still fits in it, and I hope you guys are all enjoying your day so far. The Call of Duty news does continue. A rivalry also does continue. In case you guys missed it, the Courage and Nade Shot show had Scumpy on the same day that Crimsix went with HECZ on the Eavesdrop podcast. It's a pretty weird world out there, guys. The storylines do continue. Please go check out both those podcasts if you guys have not. The first clip I'm going to play for all of you is Scump technically reacting to HECZ buying OpTic. The fact that Nade Shot and Courage were allowed to use that title, there's a hint towards anything, I have no idea. It's simply Scump reacting, but also adding a point that apparently, if this is true, I cannot tell if he's trolling or being sarcastic. Certainly when he says F you to HECZ, he seems to be joking, but according to him, his only response we really got out of him during this episode was him saying that HECZ hid this from him.
He stalled long enough. Earlier this morning, it leaked on Twitter, reported by many outlets, Esports Observer, Deserto, that Hector has reacquired the rights to the name and brand OpTic Gaming. Obviously, you, Jack, and myself have been a part of the organization in the past. And I think this is probably the biggest story that I personally have seen from the Call of Duty community in 2020. I mean, there's just so much history behind the OpTic Gaming brand, obviously near and dear to your heart. You stuck it out much longer than I did. So I'm curious what you know. What are your thoughts? Have you talked to Hector? Can you tell us anything about the scenario and the situation that's unfolded on social media today?
No, you will get nothing out of me. I am a brick wall when it comes to this kind of stuff. Yeah, I have no information.
A green wall.
Yeah, but I'm Tiss. I have no information for you on this subject. That's the title. I can already see it now. Why you gotta do me like that? Why don't you have any
information? Aren't you and Hector really close?
Yeah, no, we're super close, but I don't know. He just kept this one from me for a while. I'm kind of pissed at him, actually. Hector, if you're watching this, you.
Same, bro. I texted him when I saw it today. I was like, what the hell is this about? And got ghosted, so Hector,
his phone must be blowing up like crazy.
Oh, yeah. Dude, I can't imagine. I mean,
it's
I heard from Hector today.
So did I. I talked to him earlier.
I'm not going to share anything I know.
And certainly it makes you think of a lot of things out there. There's probably a lot of reasons why HECZ would not want to tell anybody, or only the few people he has to tell about this or let know about this, because, I'm sure he didn't appreciate this being leaked by sources out there. And if he tells someone like Scump, he might tell someone like, a girlfriend or a mom, and then word of mouth passes very quickly, and all of a sudden these things do get leaked. If you're HECZ and you really want the best content out there possible for the best out of nowhere announcement, you keep this in a closed circle, and maybe Scump is outside of that circle, which is hard to believe because they are so close and they are such good friends. So I don't really know what I personally believe here. If Scump is just trolling, you think about the flip side of this. Nade Shot put Scump on the spot. What else is Scump supposed to say, right? I mean, yes, he could have worded it better, but does Scump go out and say, oh yeah, Hector told me about this, because that openly admits that Hector did buy OpTic and that Scump knew about it. So either way, that is Scump reacting, guys. He is a brick wall. What Courage calls a green wall. That was kind of ironic. We have no other news out there, but certainly videos will follow on the future of OpTic Gaming and how Scump will be involved. Whether or not HECZ hid it from him is still a question in the air. Now, speaking of a question in the air, is the potential reunion or making up in the future of two figures out there who have long since seen a rivalry, which Crimsix has described as being pretty angry about what was called a villain and a hero, a villain and a good guy, which I frankly want to apologize for in a second, but I had my reasons. I don't know if Crimsix even watches my content, but he does refer to Deserto and other sources out there who called Crimsix a villain all season long, and why he felt he got screwed over more than anyone. And some crazy news that Scump was set to be his best man for his wedding. That's no longer, obviously.
Like the serious moments, like, dude, that is what sort of that is honestly what made me like start just trolling in every single way, is that people were viewing me as the villain in this situation. Like when I was dropped, that I was the villain, and I'm just sitting here in my head like, what? Like, I just got harder than I've ever seen anyone get screwed, because it was literally like I had been on this team for 5 years.
I think we both got screwed over in that scenario.
Yeah, probably. Trust me, I know.
So anyway,
But it was like at the end of the day, like so I don't know if you know this. I stopped doing stories with Dexerto. Anyone who spun it as like there's a good guy and there's a villain, like immediately just don't talk to me. Because in my eyes, I was just like, dude, this guy was Seth was supposed to be, you know, the best man at my wedding. You know, usually people have your brothers, but honestly, I haven't talked to my brother in a while.
Well, I wouldn't have my brother. I see that a lot too, that people have their brothers, but your brother's already family.
I mean, that's a spot. And in case you guys are too young out there, I'm sure a lot of us are around the same age. If I ever find the one, you know, if I ever find a gorgeous gamer girl who doesn't judge me for what I do for a job and is okay with all of my weird habits and such, that best man spot is for your best friend, at least in my, and they go on to explain exactly why. I mean, but that's just pretty crazy to think that is how close they were. You don't save that spot for an average off the street friend. You save that for one of your best friends. I had no idea the two were that close before all this gigantic rift did begin with the first downfall of OpTic and that former roster. Now, with that being said, he further adds, though, and I want to touch on this maybe again in the future. I don't think Crimsix watches my content, but I do want to apologize because I fell right into that trap of the perception that Crimsix was the villain, although my reasoning, and again, this is from his shoes, he has the right to be pissed off about this because a lot of people, after you call Crimsix the villain, you kind of infer that Scump must be the good guy. I actually refer to Crimsix as a villain in a very, very good way, because he played that role very well of seeking revenge. He had been painted as this villain, and he sought revenge the entire season long, and I thought he played that role very well. To even further add, he even says himself he actually started trolling and almost like playing into the role. So I can't know those details, but I do want to apologize because based off public perception, I kind of fell into that same trap of, oh, maybe Scump and Formula are the good guys and Crimsix is the bad guy, when in hindsight 2020, knowing what we know now and really looking at the situation, it is very clear that Crimsix got the short end of the stick. And very lastly, it's tough as well as a news outlet because that was what it was, you know, done first off by Dexerto and the Call of Duty League and the interviews that Crimsix did. I really thought he was playing the villain card for revenge. Even further, remember the meme that HECZ let Scump do at the end of Huntsman videos of never forgive, never forget? Like, HECZ played into that as well. So I don't know. I find it, I don't think Crimsix was necessarily talking about me. I don't think I'm relevant enough for him to watch my content, but I think a lot of people out there played into those parts, and I don't think they meant to do so offensively. I know I certainly did not. Either way, Crimsix won the season, right? So, I mean, in the end, you won, but of course he has paid for that, and the price being a friendship and potentially a best man as well. I just want to clear the air on that, maybe a future topic, but I wanted to show you guys where I was coming from in those videos, and I certainly was never trying to paint him as a bad guy, only a guy seeking revenge, and I think that was clear, but I don't know, maybe that's just me. Until next time, hope you guys all enjoy, though. You know what to do, all right? Drink it, stay hydrated. I'll see you back here sometime soon. Take care.